Welcome back to RealSavvy, another edition. Great guest today, Mrs. Sophia Chris, President-elect of the Greater Greensboro Regional Realtors Association. Did I say it right?
There's no greater in it, just
okay.
Greensboro Regional Realtors Association.
You're also the president and founder of the house. Do all your titles, because you've had like 2017. Your email signature lists a whole bunch of stuff, and I don't want to mess any of it up.
Okay. So I am founder and executive director of Housing Consultants Group and president-elect for the Greensboro Regional Realtors Association.
But you also had several awards that you obtained over the past few years. I would be remiss if we did not touch on those.
Well, I'm most excited about the William Sewell Senior and Junior Fair Housing Award in 2019, as well as in 2021 for outstanding service in the area of real estate, in the area of fair housing. So I'm excited about that. My passion is housing. My niche right now, and for the last almost 30 years, has been affordable housing and making people homeowners. So I'm most excited about that work.
How long has the Housing Consultants Group been in existence, and what made you find it?
We've been in existence since 2004. We've had an interesting journey, a great journey, but we're in a great place right now as the premier agency for education in the area of home ownership and helping people on their path to home ownership. It's not just about getting the house, it's how you get to the house, how you keep your house, and what the value of a house is other than someplace you live. We think it's the vehicle to generational wealth for most people.
What services do you provide to Housing Consultants Group?
So Housing Consultants Group provides several services. We know most of the people we talk to want to be homeowners. So what we do is we kind of assess them where they are. Most of it is credit score driven. And what we know is, based on my experience with real estate, I know what credit scores mean. And what credit score means you have more than 12 months of work to do. What credit score means you have 6 to 12 months worth of work to do. And what credit score means you're ready. And what we do, we offer curriculum for all 3 stages of where people are. We've got a 5-week boot camp that's specifically for people that need at least 12 months. We talk about credit, budgeting behaviors, and spending behaviors. So first thing we ask you is, do you spend money when you're happy? Do you spend money when you're sad? Do you spend money when you get paid because you deserve? Or do you spend money when you're bored? So most people will fit in one of those buckets. Some folks fit in more than one. And we talk about how to assess your spending behavior, what spending behavior is best suited to make you a sustainable homeowner, what habits need to occur. So example, you have to have a budget. Budget's a bad word, but we call it spending plan. You have to have a spending plan every month that starts at the beginning of the month. And then we teach them how to read their credit report and how they have the impact to change their credit report. We don't advocate credit repair services. We advocate you taking ownership for what's on your credit report and what you need to do and what we can help you with to get your credit where it needs to be. And then we have something called the Individual Development Account Program. That's for people that are 6 to 12 months out. Not my idea. It's done across the country. We just happen to be the only provider of this particular program in Guilford County. That program allows you to engage with us in a group setting once a month, have a one-on-one success coach with the housing counselor service, and then we do a contract with you. You have to commit to saving money. Whatever amount you want to save, you commit to saving each month, and your coach goes over what's going on with you individually, one-on-one, and then we talk about one topic per month in the classroom. Now, and then of course, there's the 8-hour course, the HUD certified course. We are a HUD certified housing counseling agency. So we do that class twice a month. It's 8 hours. It gives you a certificate that's good for 12 months and allows you to take that 12-month period to locate a house.
So you opened up, your answer opened up a couple more questions for me that was going through my mind. Number one, what is your service area? Like, what can people to take advantage of your services from other places? And are your classes virtual or in person?
Okay, so our services are primarily in Guilford County. We work with surrounding counties, Alamance and Rockingham. We are looking to expand our services across the state. We've been getting some calls because of the way we package our services. And because we are virtual right now, you know, it's limitless where we can work and who we can help. We've mastered virtual education. We've also found out that people like virtual education. There's something about not having to get up, get in a car, be someplace, secure childcare, secure whatever else you need to secure in order for you to be gone during the day. And people are very comfortable in their homes. They're very comfortable with their cameras on. They're very comfortable with chat. And we've had a level of engagement that we've never seen before, because folks have that fear of public speaking. For some reason, virtual, that fear goes away and folks are really engaging with us very well. And plus we have great presenters. So they kind of pull people in, engage them. And I think people leave our classes much more knowledgeable about the home buying process than they did when they started. And all that's occurring virtually.
And the other part was, you mentioned being a HUD certified program. What relationships will the certificate of going through your program allow people to take advantage of? I mean, and I'm speaking specifically about first-time home buyer programs with certain banks, et cetera, et cetera. Are you connected to state agencies as
Yes.
well?
Yes,
Okay.
we are. We have a great relationship with the North Carolina Housing Finance Agency. However, because we're HUD certified, if you took our class this month in February and you moved to California and bought a house in California, that certificate is good in California for any assistance that they have at the state level, because we all have the same level of HUD certification and it's recognized across the country.
So are there programs for refinance or home repair that also make that certificate advantageous for someone to take class?
So the certificate is primarily for home ownership, home purchase of your first home. Each municipality has other programs available to you, but they don't require this certificate. They would require you be income eligible and meet the criteria based on the area that you live. So the certificate is specifically for home ownership and the availability to access local and state funds that are available in different areas in terms of home buyer assistance and down payment assistance.
Okay, now make sure it's a lot of good stuff. So make sure you shout out your website.
Yes, housingconsultantsgroup.org. And we are in the process of a revamp. So our website is up and running with all the services that we offer. Hopefully in 6 months, it'll look a little bit different, more interactive. Once again, I think that COVID has put us in a space where we're not going to go back to the way we were doing things 100%. And in some cases, that's good. You know, the biggest aha for us was that we were serving probably 75 families a month in face-to-face classes. We're up to 100 a month. And no, we're up to 100 sometimes per class. Our average classes in 2021 were 60 to 70 people per class twice a month. So we're able to have a further reach. And then of course, if you wanted to attend our class and you lived in another part of the state, while some of the information was area specific, the bulk of it was not. It's about the process of buying a home. It's talking to a realtor, a lender, what the closing attorney does, what a home inspection is and what it is not, and the value of insurance. So those things are not specific to area. They're specific to everybody on the home buying journey. So we'd like to think we're of value to anybody that wants to plug into our services.
Switching hats, as though you're not all of that, you're not busy enough. As president-elect for the Greensboro Association of Realtors, what does that entail?
Well, I'd like to think that my real estate background is what has made HCG so successful, because I get it from the perspective of the realtor and engaging with buyers and what their anxieties are and what their questions are and what they don't know and what they do know. So I think that I've taken my realtor experience and really made HCG very solid, but I was happy to be recognized by my peers in the real estate community as somebody that they felt would be worthy of being their president. This is our 101 year. Last year was our 100th year when I was elected, and I would be the second minority president in that 100-year period. So I've got some big shoes to fill. Great friend of mine, Lolita Malave, was the first, and I'm excited about it. I think that the work that I've done with HCG and at the state level with the Realtors Association let the community know that I care, and I'm pouring all this into what makes real estate wonderful, what makes real estate great for first-time homebuyers, but what makes real estate great for everybody, and how affordable housing is necessary to keep generational wealth in all communities.
So we know, as somebody that holds a real estate license, I understand the advocacy work that realtors associations do for licensees. Could you speak about the work that you do as an agency on that hat, and the other hat with the association within the community of Greensboro?
Well, we're very much a part of conversations about development and the fact that the real estate process, buying a house, is the biggest expense people will ever do. One of the things we did in working with the city of Greensboro is we want to make sure that everybody buying a home has representation from a buyer's agent, a person whose sole responsibility is to look out for you. A lot of times we found that people thought they could take a shortcut by not using an agent, and it's the only time you get to work with somebody and gain their professional services, and that it's not an expense to you, so why would you not? We have put some things in place in the program where we're also advocating for buyers, in that, yes, you have to have a buyer's agent. You also need to know if you're going to work with a for sale by owner. That too requires an agent. And even if you're buying a home that you're currently renting, with the inventory being so low, you always need representation, somebody working for you. And I've really pushed that value of being a realtor and working with a realtor. And I think the Realtors Association really appreciates that I kind of have my hands on the pulse of what's good in affordable housing, what's going on. Again, development is a whole nother issue. There's never enough homes. And I also am very supportive of small builders. You know, one of the things we learned from the foreclosure crisis of 2008 was that a lot of the tract builders that were building large tracts of homes left that space and went to a different price point. So it's important to recognize that there's still a great need for people who want to buy a home less than $200,000 in this area, and there's not enough inventory. So I'm very much at the table talking about that as well, and what needs to happen by incentivizing developers to come back, encouraging small new developers, or just small developers that need a little bit of assistance in the gap financing that sometimes is needed to make a home affordable, and make sure that the person that built the home, the developer, is making some money. That keeps everybody happy.
That was and I don't know if you wanted to go further into the whole space of affordable housing, specifically in the Greensboro market. I'm familiar, and I know you watched some previous shows I have had about Charlotte and how crazy that is. Is it as crucial in the Greensboro market?
It's just as crucial and just as crazy. You know, I like to follow trends. Part of my president-elect role is to make sure I'm keeping tabs on what's happening next. And what's happening is, it's a little bit alarming. What's happening is homes are coming on the market. They are on the market a very short period of time. They're getting multiple offers, some of them cash, which is the first thing that stands out. And then some of them are offers that are above list price. So it kind of makes buyers agents have a different conversation with their potential buyers, especially first-time home buyers. And then you factor in due diligence money that is non-refundable should you walk away from the deal. It's a very difficult space, and it makes it so myself and the facilitators presenting to these, 50, 60, 80 people in a class who might be competing for the same home in some cases, and we have to have a real conversation with them about, what are you willing to do? What are you willing to do in terms of due diligence money? What are you looking at when you look at a home, and what are you willing to pay? And recognize that paying more for a property is not always the best thing long term. It may be good for you right now, but I think that what we're going to see in probably 5 to 10 years is some people who are wanting to move and their house is upside down. So what seems like a blessing to you right now may not be a blessing to you in the future. So I am watching the trends and what the National Association of Realtors says is going to happen, and those the cost of new construction, the cost of supplies. It's just kind of a very interesting time, unlike I've ever seen in almost 30 years. But it does tailor the conversation to potential buyers to be patient, maintain their credit, maintain savings, and get with a lender and a realtor that are going to be able to provide you with what you need to move quickly should an opportunity arise.
You've given out so much information in the course of this conversation. I want to make sure that I didn't miss anything in picking your brain. But is there anything else that you'd like to add for my audience?
I think that this is an interesting time. I would encourage people in underserved neighborhoods to just stay faithful, stay diligent, stay encouraged. You can't have too much education. So please plug into any of our classes. And if once again, we do them virtually so we can service other areas. I think we provide a wealth of knowledge to be financially well. The goal of HCG is to make people financially well on your path to home ownership, but we also recognize some people just need to be financially well, even when they're not on the path to home ownership. So I want your audience to know that we are concerned about the future of the country for homeowners, as well as other people in our community. We want them well.
And there will be a link for HCG on RealSavvy.com, but please, one more time for the people in the back, please get the website.
housingconsultantsgroup.org. Check us out.
Thank you, Sophia Chris, for being my guest today and helping make the audience truly real savvy. You stay blessed, and let me give a shout out to the brother noble Jeff Chris, hubby. So, you know, who has to stand by your side while you run so busy. So again, I hope that everybody enjoys this show, and look forward to the column that will correspond with all your great information.
Thank you so much for having me, Chris.